Alright guys, welcome back. Mike, what's up? Byerly Productions, what's up? How's everyone doing? We're returning back with Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan is a small Central American. Kyrgyzstan is a small Central Asian country, former Soviet Republic. We did a stream 2 days ago where we played as them, and we seem to be doing good, and we still have a lot of challenges to overcome. So we will be continuing as Kyrgyzstan in order to continue to try to get them to grow beyond what they already have. So we have a 1.7% growth rates, so I think we're going to find someone else to trade with. Purchase. Let's go ahead and do a meeting request with the president of Russia.
The pretext used is that...
Yeah, usually smaller countries will not let me meet with larger countries because of like the pretext that domestic affairs take priority over international affairs. So we have it is 2024, so we do have some nuclear reactors that we're going to be able to start producing. So let's go over here to Russia. Let's do a sales contract. Let's do cement. Actually, Japan is a kind of good in terms of diplomatic relations, so let's try to do a meeting with them. Pretty sure it'll get canceled, and as it does get canceled,
the pretext used.
And do that. Cement. We could do chemicals. They already have chemicals, so we could do some. So we could do gold. We could do gold. Actually, what we're going to be doing in this episode is that we are going to be focusing on a investment into our industrial sector, which actually we should check on our education. If the education is, I guess, good enough, then we're going to have to invest in the industry. As opposition is kind of hard, not gonna lie. I haven't played as opposition in forever. Oh, I do have a nuclear plant. We're gonna have to check that out.
Roger.
Yeah, we do not have sufficient manpower to build even one nuclear power plant. Good job on the name, sir. Hell yeah. How much is it if I wanted to nationalize the building out? Oh, I do. Okay. Let's hire 20,000 people. You know what? 50,000. 200,000. Okay, maybe too much. Let's start off with 120,000. Let's pay them more. Good thing that that sector is nationalized. So then we just have to wait for a little bit more people to be hired, and then should be good to go. We do have a sufficient enough unemployment rate that we can depend on that. Illegal employment is on its way down from 48% down to 32%. Agreement negotiation with the Japanese. Alright, so starting off with gold, we are at $29, and let's get them up to 35. And then 379 for natural gas. Let's do 425. Tobacco. Let's do 46. Wood. This is 104. Let's do 115, and then and let's call this the Kyoto Agreement. We also should be attempting to try to find a partner for a free trade association agreement. Maybe we could do India. Uzbekistan would be a straightforward approach. So let's try to sign one with Uzbekistan. Let's see what happens. The terrorist
coupled with the brown model on group psychotextology.
Oh, that's funny. $33, $425, $466, $115, $4443. I think we're gonna have to accept that. And we'll see what the worth is on the next economic week, which would be on the next Monday. So every time a newspaper is published, every time a newspaper is published in the game, that is your update to your economy. So a lot of times whenever you have the bug where it freezes at the 24-hour mark, it's because it's trying to do an economic calculation. Aha, Uzbekistan accepts as a $6 billion contract. So the next week did come. Commercial contract signed between Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan. $455 million contract was the worth of that contract that we just signed. So then let's go over and look at our growth. We are at 6%. Our GDP is now at $11 billion. Exports is up. The only imports that we are doing is mainly because of the we do have an import agreement. I can't remember what it was, but let me look. Purchase, yeah, we're purchasing uranium from Kazakhstan, and that was in a worth of $500 million. And then our most worth contract right now is $502 million. EACU Tajik membership. Let's go ahead and accept them. Trying to boost some relations with some of our nearby neighbors, and we do not want to seek conflict with Tajikistan, so we will try to move forward with rebuilding relations with them, even though we did have clashes about 2 years ago.
According... Ah, sir.
Let's go ahead and look at our illiteracy rates, and we actually have a pretty low illiteracy rate compared to the rest of the world. We're actually very, very low. Yeah, so we can actually start to invest into our education system just a tiny bit. I like how our civil servants are making $140 whenever our literal construction workers are making like $20. Like, yikes. Do you play much WWE? I haven't had a chance. Not really. Okay, so our manpower is going up. Okay, so we just need to get 3,000 people. I'm actually considering trying to get the value added tax up to 20%. That would be an additional near $1 billion in revenue. Maybe I should ask the Uzbeks to allow me to build. Okay. Reform I'd like is the ability as opposition to proposed legislation. Are you talking about empowering revolution? Yeah, it's usually wait and react. And even whenever you wait and react, it's kind of like it does kind of limit you. And that's really what I don't like, is that it kind of like forces you to go by what it wants you to do. And I think that's kind of stupid. Ooh, I wonder who the terrorist is. Let's cyber attack Afghanistan. Defense, damn it. What about Turkmenistan? Yes. Let's cyber attack Turkmenistan, see what happens. It's literally just like 3 people inside of like a computer room, inside of one little hut, somewhere in like Karakol, just like hacking into like one of their websites because they've learned HTML somewhere. I can actually meet with Uzbekistan. See if I can upgrade to a global trade agreement with Uzbekistan. I'm also considering lowering trade barriers to Tajikistan. When are my elections? 1,000 days, okay. Yeah, oh yeah, the elections aren't until 2027. Cyber attack against Turkmenistan, $188 million. Heh heh.
Their
Blackout.
security system protected certain vital infrastructures, but we have succeeded in breaching their
We're gonna be causing over $1 billion in damage here in Turkmenistan.
Good morning.
You have to purchase maize from me.
No. Temper your words. Most of me.
Should we work on automobile construction? Let's do $20 million here. We're gonna kind of go through them one by one. Bauxite we could import from like Brazil or something like that. What is the employment here? 4,000. Total workforce 3,718. Carbon nanofiber. Let's do $10 million there and exonerate the sector. Just in case that music got a little loud for you guys. Clothing. Let's exonerate. Let's do a $50 million investment in the gold sector. Republic Bionics. Helicopters, high velocity missiles, household appliances. Let's do $5 million investment there. Do an exoneration. Jewelry, let's exonerate. Lead. Can I even make that? No. Steel. I like how I have nationalized the steel sector, but I'm not even doing anything with it. Let's do a... Let's do 15,000. Okay, let's do 5,000. We're not going to subsidize that, but we are going to exonerate it. Okay.
The bill.
Bruh. Okay. Basically kind of balanced our budget again. After hiring a campaign, so the steel sector is back in business. Our activity is now back on track in our country. Bonjour from France. Hey, what is up, city? How are you doing?
According to
$81 million cash surplus. So what do we got right now? Ooh, look at that. My borrowing is really doing a little funny thing, isn't it? Thankfully we're only borrowing a lot from ourselves, so it's not too bad. We have $83 million on ourselves, and we have $5 billion of debt right now, and our GDP per capita is actually about our GDP debt ratio is actually about to hit 100%. I have not heard back from them either. Yeah, I emailed them earlier this week, and I have not gotten a reply by today. So they've been unusually quiet leading up to this release. Borrowing is doing a funny, yes. Like, at least in the time that I've been interacting with them, I don't remember them being this quiet. Usually I would get like a response back or something, like we got a famine in Uzbekistan.
the bill has
Damn, our industrial sector GDP has actually been dropping, but our trade balance is actually going down. That's mostly because of all the exports, I think. Seems like they're mainly ignoring media and content creators. I don't know. Like, that is my chief complaint about them, is that I really wish that they would just get past the whole, like, I don't want to... I wish they would get past the whole, like, I don't want to talk to anyone, like, they're just really, really, really difficult sometimes, and I don't like it. wonder if I even have oil. Oh my god, my unemployment actually went up. Usually you don't see that. Stand in accordance with the Convention Against Torture. Occupancy rate is kind of on its way up, but it's like taking forever. Criticism of the state, what is that? Respectful. Let's go ahead and put that to full freedom. Go ahead and send it over to Parliament. Just make full freedom of expression toward the state. And then the media, information, freedom of expression. And let's actually hold off on that for right now. Instruction, 5G mobile internet. I might want to slow down on the spending because that is actually starting to become somewhat of an issue because of all the borrowing that I'm doing. So my borrowing has actually jumped from about doubled from 5 billion to 10 billion. My deficit is okay. So like the deficit that I have right now is like, 3% over. So I'm okay. But what's kind of worrying me right now is the amount that I am borrowing at. So I have doubled my national debt from $5 billion to $10 billion. And that is not exactly what we want to be doing right now. Mostly all of that money has been going to like energy projects and I think mostly toward energy projects because those ones were costing... I mean, hell, like if I were to go into this, like we'd literally, most of our money would be going to debt reimbursement. How much do we spend on debt reimbursement right now? Budget, debt reimbursement. Yeah, my debt reimbursement would explode if I get a nuclear power plant. Let's ask the United States if they have an SMR. Yep, they do. Let's ask for the minimum amount. And that will be delivered in April 2025. About a year from now. Let's send that over and... It actually worked! Oh, thank God. Okay, so this is gonna give us 2 terawatts. Let's get about a couple of these. So we need to request a few of these SMRs. Pay debt Greece. Ah! So 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we could get at least 5 of these. And if we are able to get 5 of them, then they will really provide for the Kyrgyz economy. Kyrgyzstan. Okay. let's go for one more nuclear SMR. You don't have the necessary technology. And then we are going to nationalize the SMR sector. That way we can reap the profits from that sector. Go ahead and send that over, and then we will await the opening. We are actually going to go to the opening of these nuclear plants. So we will be going to April 2025 at least by the end of this episode.
The bill has...
Okay, how many SMRs does that give us? 1, 2, 3. Wait. Structure. 2 of them. Only 2 of them popped up. Shit. Contract 62. And 62. geopolitically, what will be the foreign policy here? Non-alignment, east or west? When was the last time I auto-saved? June, April. When did I sign these? Hang on. So suppress that one. I'm gonna save this real quick. The idea geopolitically will be that we're gonna basically be non-aligned. Like, we're gonna be making dealings with the Russians, as well as the Chinese to an extent. I mean, we could build better relations with China. And ironically, I saw a story not too long ago that did say that the annual sale, once off purchase, 62 suppress. Okay, that should be it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're going to be making dealings with the Chinese. We're going to be making dealings with the Russians. I think investment-wise, I mean, we are going to be seeking more so of an American investment. I don't really see... I mean, I can't really do anything with China, especially in terms of, like, energy production, because they don't necessarily like me. Russia is too far away for me to depend on them. Obviously the United States is way over here, but I do see me seeking better relations with the United States. That way, like, I mean, they're a bigger economy, and whenever I make trade agreements with them, they are going to be able to be more inclined to accept what I'm asking of them. I have pretty good relations with Russia and the United States, so it's not, you know, far-fetched to kind of like just deal with both sides. But I think the geopolitical ambition here is more so going to be unaligned. I can't necessarily grow myself into a regional power. I mean, I could be a regional power, but I won't be able to like face off against like Kazakhstan or Uzbekistan unless I seriously invested like tens of billions of dollars, like double, triple, quadruple, 10, 20 times the size of my Kyrgyz economy. So it would take probably a decade or two for me to get militarily able to, I mean, face off against the nearby powers. I mean, maybe we could send some special forces into Kabul and install a friendly government, organize elections kind of thing. But I don't necessarily see that happening. So probably just more so like just gaining better relations with our regional neighbors. Infrastructure projects, high-speed rail trains, everything like that. So neutrality is basically the idea here. Anyway, I did see actually a story that the Chinese are actually doing an investment project with Kyrgyzstan. And I think it was more so like a rail line that they were building to connect Xinjiang over to Kyrgyzstan. I don't necessarily know some of the deeper details behind it, but I did see an article about that. Let's see if we can get one more small modular reactor here. Maybe it's a manpower issue.
Frankly, I have all the inconveniences of the mistress and no advantages. It's been more than 6 months. I've waited long enough. You took the mickey, now it's my turn.
No, she left me. Now she's gonna reveal our relationship. Quick, I need to divorce my wife before anyone can make a controversy about it. See, that makes no sense. It might be a manpower issue. It might not be a bug. Alright, we're just gonna go with the ones that we have building right now. Let me see what my manpower is doing, because it might be that. Oh. It is a manpower thing. That makes a lot of sense. It wasn't telling me that it was a manpower thing, but it was a manpower thing. How big is my population? 6.1 million. So, problem solved. I cannot do, if it takes it in, but then it doesn't appear, it's because you don't have the manpower to do it. It just doesn't tell you that.
According to their...
See, there's always an explanation behind some of this, so I don't like to throw around the word bug unless it is a bug.
We have strong suspicion.
So that solves it. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Here's if I'm wrong. Made several phone calls to an enemy nation. Browsed and chatted on sites I classified as terrorist. Let's proceed with an arrest. I just realized, if you guys see what my subscriber count is at, we are at 9,000 subscribers. We are at 9,000. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna pull up my profile real quick. Thank you to everyone that is watching this right now that is a subscriber, and 9,000 people liking my content. Not necessarily like I never necessarily thought that would be a thing. Like, so I really appreciate everyone. We have about 1,000 people to go before we finally hit the famed 10,000, and I'm still keeping to my promise that I am doing a $100 giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. I should usually by that time I will be able to have the opportunity to put aside some money in order to pay out to someone. Well, I don't know, like, should I do a $100 giveaway, or I think I decided on something else, but that was a while ago.
In light of...
Kyrgyz poverty. Oh yeah, we should do something. Just Solly. I actually saw a bill introduced to the Senate last night.
The preparation.
Basically, this bill would revoke the right of birthright citizenship in the United States. It's a simulation. Okay.
Following our investigation.
Okay, cool. But yeah, like it was interesting because I mean, even in the bill, it actually like outright says like brings up Just Solly, and let me see if I can find it. It was a bill by Tom Cotton. Let me try to find it. Bill. Here it is. Doesn't have a name yet, but it's introduced by J.D. Vance, Marsha Blackburn, and Tom Cotton. And it basically says to amend Section 301 of the Immigration and Nationality Act to clarify those classes of individuals born in the United States who are not nationals or citizens of the United States at birth. It says it is the sense of Congress that the right of birthright citizenship established in Section 1 of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States is rooted in the common law doctrine of Just Solly and limited by the principle that is not the soil but the legantia and obedientia to make the subject born a citizen. The Supreme Court in the United States has long recognized under the principles of the allegiance and obedience, the children of foreign diplomats or enemy troops born in the United States soil are not entitled to birthright citizenship, and under the same principle, the children of foreign spies, saboteurs, terrorists, and other hostile actors, as well as the children of illegal aliens, should not be entitled to birthright citizenship. Purposes of this act are to codify the common law exception of birthright citizenship for ambassadors and invaders, and to clarify that other categories of disloyal or obedient aliens are also subjected to this exception. And then it says citizenship at birth exclusions for certain persons born in the United States. Section 301 of the Immigration Nationality Act is amended by striking the semicolon at the end and inserting the following: provided that a person born in the United States shall not be considered subject to the jurisdiction of the United States if the person is born of alien parents who are unlawfully present in the United States, present in the United States for diplomatic purposes, or engaged in hostile occupation of or hostile operation in the United States. Yeah, I don't agree with that either. I don't agree with that. If you're born here, you should be a citizen. Yeah. What really like worries me is that there's going to be millions and millions of kids and adults that were born here, and that they're going to try to frame it in a way that they have to be deported. And I'm like, that is probably one of the most evil things that you can do, because that child, that adult that was born here, didn't really necessarily have a choice in it. Like, why are you going to deport someone back to somewhere that they're culturally connected to, but like, where would they go? And I actually had a conversation with this earlier with someone, and their question basically was like, how, like, if they didn't know where they were from, how would they figure that out? And I guess my assumption was that more so, like, I guess maybe they would have to guess. And, like, it would just be a legal nightmare. It'd be a humanitarian nightmare. Because imagine someone that, like, their parents came from, like, Honduras or something like that. And then you have to, like, send them over to Kyrgyzstan or something. It's just racism, and it's wrong. Well, the Republican Party now there's just a lot of deep-seated racism, I guess. And what really gets me about it is, like, whenever it comes to like the crisis at the border, I call it a crisis. I will be careful enough to call it a crisis at the border. What I hate is whenever people call it an invasion. calling it an invasion is like the stupidest thing, because then they're like, oh well, like here's the definition of invasion, and then they're pointing at the definition that says it's the movement of a large group of people. And it's like, if it was a war in Europe or something like that, a bunch of German, British, Norwegian refugees that needed a place to go, they'd be saying we need to get them in open arms. We need to take them in with open arms. But then whenever it comes to Central America, whenever it comes to Mexico, and people are coming across trying to find a better life, jobs, money, that's an invasion. And I think that's stupid. And it's funny because some of you guys, I mean, David in the comments just put this out, that 2024 PG is better than 2016 PG. And it's funny, if you guys have known me for so long, if you guys remember me back in 2016 to 2019, you guys will know that I was a avid Trump supporter. I was very right-wing whenever it came to things like immigration or economics or something like that, and I've definitely kind of like moderated my views immensely. So it's Shawn Michaels, what's up? I voted for Trump for economic reasons. I'm not making that mistake again. Yeah, I voted for him in 2016 and 2020, and I just can't with him. Like, after the whole fiasco in 2021 and him just being unable to take a loss, I'm just like, that I can't do that. Like, that's too much, and it makes me feel stupid, because it's like, I've been asked the question too, like, why wasn't this like too much for you? Why wasn't Kids in Cages too much for you? And at the time, you know, I did not like that. I think 2017 for Donald Trump was amazing. I absolutely loved 2017 Donald Trump. The moment 2018 came in, that's whenever I started to fall off. And it's gotten to a point now that I just don't like national politics anymore. I don't really like to talk about it because it's just too toxic. Like, it's too toxic. I open Twitter and it makes me want to delete social media. How many taxes are you raising a year? A couple of them. Most of them I'm kind of focusing on getting the company tax to like 25%. I'm trying to get the value added tax to 15% to 20%. If I were to get this to 20%, that would be an additional $500 million. But yeah, like, I think that it's just, it's complicated. It's very complicated, and I don't necessarily know how to describe it. I think a lot of Trump supporters, you know, the middle class people, middle class Trump supporters, they're okay. They only do it because of economic reasons, and I respect them for that. What I don't respect is whenever your literal reason for all of it is just because of Donald Trump. what I hate, and I hate this about this election, that I have a guy that's running that is replacing the long-standing congressman that's been in office in my district for like 20 years. And he's replacing him. But then what I hate about these America First MAGA crazy people that run for Congress is they specifically campaign on being a Trump supporter. They specifically campaign on being pro-Trump. And what I hate about their campaign slogans is whenever they say, I'm going to fight for Donald Trump and I'm going to fight for the American people, in that order. Is that how you're going to do it? You're going to do it in that order. You're going to fight for Trump first, and then you're going to fight for the American people, instead of America first. Was it supposed to be America first, or is it Trump first? Because that's what it's becoming. I'm going to have a lot of people watching this in DVR, and they're going to be like, dude, shut up. You're not supposed to be talking about it. Just play the damn game. Look at the name of the channel before you complain. Sorry. Look at the name of the channel. PoliticsGaming. I'm talking about politics. Literally the point of the channel. So go away. I do think the double standard for Trump being considered a bad guy in comparison to Biden and the rest of the Dems is hilarious. Okay, so I had a conversation with this about with someone earlier. The only complaints I ever see about Biden is about Hunter Biden, or it's Joe Biden tripping and falling over something. Those are the two major complaints that I ever see about him. I had a conversation about this, about the Ukraine scandal, whenever it was about like Biden bragging about stopping the investigation of someone, about firing a prosecutor who was about to investigate his son. What I actually ended up figuring out after doing some research into that, they actually wanted him fired because he wouldn't investigate the company that Hunter Biden was involved in. That's the reason why they pushed for him to get fired. It was a Ukrainian prosecutor that was, they were getting ready to investigate the Burisma company, the Burisma oil company, and he didn't do it whenever he became prosecutor in 2012. And or in 2014, it was like 2014 to 2015. And so then Biden went over there and basically said like, hey, we have $1 billion in loan guarantees that we want to give you, but we're not going to give it to you unless you fire this prosecutor. And the reason they wanted him fired is because he was not investigating the companies. So a lot of people are going to tell you, well, it's because they wanted him fired because he was investigating Burisma, whenever at the time he was not investigating Burisma. That they were looking into Burisma for money laundering and corruption, but there was no official investigation. The guy before this prosecutor got fired and then was replaced by the guy that I'm talking about. And then whenever he was in charge, he did not launch an investigation of Burisma. And so the United States said, fire him or you're not getting this loan guarantee. And Biden made a comment about it and basically said, like, I'm going to leave in 6 hours. If he's not fired, you're not getting the money. They ended up firing him by the time he left. I think the double standard is immediately turned around on the Trump supporters, because it's like there's a lot of corruption from Donald Trump. Like, I mean, who's the co-chair of the Republican National Committee? Like, who's the co-chair of the Republican National Committee? Donald Trump, I mean, just got convicted 34 counts of falsifying business documents to cover up a payment to a porn star that he had sex with, that, by the way, allegedly, this is what was in the court documents on Stormy Daniels' side, that she didn't even want to do it. That she just showed up in his room one night just to kind of hang out with them, and then by the time she even knew anything was going on, apparently he already had his pants down, ready to go. And that's actually how Stormy Daniels said. She never actually said that he R'd her, but the court documents that basically describe what had happened in the room, because I always kind of like saw it as like, oh, like maybe that like they just met up and did it. No, that's not how it went. It was a lot weirder and creepier the way it happened. What about the presidential immunity question? What do you think about the claim about absolute presidential immunity? I think that it should not be held to a double standard, because what I get about this is that they're not holding other presidents to the same account, because there's no investigations in how presidents and members of Congress enrich themselves while they're in office. Which, by the way, goes on both sides. Republicans, Democrats, MAGA, and, like, progressives. Everyone enriches themselves while they're in Congress. So if you want to point at the other side, make sure you're looking in the mirror at the same time before you want to sit there and solely complain about the other side. Number two, I get the idea that it's about a double standard, that they're not wanting to prosecute Obama for drone strikes or George W. Bush for the war in Iraq. But at the same time, it's more so like that Trump was a businessman. None of these presidents that came in were business people. Like they were politicians. They've always been politicians. They were higher class people that were just involved in politics. None of them had like a questionable business empire like Donald Trump did. Donald Trump was a business mogul. So he's going to be under more scrutiny because of his business dealings. I mean, during the Trump administration, he actually avoided... I think it was 2019. Apparently this was in 2019. I always thought it was in like 2017 or 2018. Basically what happened is that the Trump administration, oh my God. The Trump administration basically said, okay, the Kurds in northern Syria, we're going to withdraw. And then as soon as the United States withdrew, the Turks invaded northern Syria and started attacking the Kurds. We had a long-standing relationship with the Kurds. And then the biggest reason why Donald Trump did not want to do it is, number one, he didn't want to ruin a free trade agreement that he was getting ready to negotiate with the Turks. That was the biggest issue that he wanted to. Number two, he has a lot of business dealings in Turkey. In Ankara and in Istanbul, he has several buildings there. So if he were to upset them, then the Turks could literally turn around and say, hey, we're going to start investigating you, or we're just going to revoke your lease in Ankara, wherever. Well, I think it was in Ankara. So there's a lot of questionable stuff that happened during the Trump administration. The Georgia fake electors case is kind of like way too complicated, honestly. What's the situation of your Kyrgyz playthrough right now? Basically, I'm trying to balance the economy, trying to ensure that my energy production is going smoothly. We do have a Oh, it's up here. Building housing in Redway. We have a building housing in Redway sector that we actually have nationalized, and we are trying to get more people to sign on. We are actually having a huge hiring campaign right now. I think we can actually afford the other SMR. Available manpower. So yeah, let's actually do another SMR, and let's test my theory if whether it was a manpower issue, because I'm pretty sure it was a manpower issue. That's the wrong flag, by the way. SMR.
Good morning. Listen, don't forget that you're speaking to the head of a state that is much more powerful than yours. Every day I have to deal with extremely complex situations, which is unlikely to happen in your little territorial cocoon. However, your opinion is interesting, as usual.
Man, calm down. Steven Seagal really told him to do that. Yep, it was a manpower issue. I knew it. That's cool. That's cool. And that's the biggest thing about it. It's like, it's usually an explanation. There are various cases where there are some bugs in this game, but a lot of times it's because of something that the game is not explaining to you, and it takes a little bit of effort in order to figure out what it is. So the reason I was unable to build these in the last stream is because of the manpower issue. So, interesting to see.
You have negotiated.
Oh my god, we don't have a services sector? Let's go. Let's nationalize this, bro. Let's nationalize it and then immediately start to get like a huge amount of investment in there. I'm actually going to put like $50 million into that sector. I could actually legalize marijuana as well. I struggle a lot with playing countries with a large deficit. Any good ideas when and how I should do things? Usually it's just a matter of just trying to find the best tax to increase. It's kind of complicated to explain. Build some subway systems. I could actually do some rail lines. Make Kyrgyzstan a Mid-Eastern New York City. Definitely Central Asia, by the way. Definitely not Middle Eastern. They're Turkic, but they are not Middle Eastern.
The current
We actually do have some oil production. Probably some gas. I wouldn't doubt it because there's a lot of natural gas in Kazakhstan. Let's try one single oil well, and let's see how much I get. Incorrect position, what does that mean? Ugh. Yeah, I really gotta stop spending right now.
The bill.
Oh, my treasury went away. Probably to pay the debts. Do oil and gas last forever? I think they do. about a month before these nuclear power plants are done. They actually reduced it. IMF, let's ask 219. Okay, so I eliminated my... I owe $446,000 to the International Monetary Fund. And I owe $440 million to the World Bank.
I'm going. Apparently Tajikistan wants to meet with us. Let's go ahead and accept that. It's almost 2 a.m. in Pakistan. Want to sleep but can't miss your stream. Nah, bro, you should go to sleep. It's late over there. Uncontrollable situation. The British Virgin Islands with the illegal immigration. I really want to see what kind of changes they do in this next edition. I'm really excited for it, honestly. I have 18,000 available manpower now.
Good morning.
I want to purchase sodas, 15 million liters. $25 million. Yeah, let's go ahead. Water. Whoa. Oh, it's the COP conference.
They don't respond. Yeah. I have gotten the word that the edition is coming and that they are going to make an announcement in the next couple of weeks. That was on Discord. By the way, David, I never got to get back to you on Twitter. It's nice to see you because I have not talked to you in a minute. I always get concerned whenever I see your website go down. Someone did like inform me that there is an announcement coming, and that the announcement will come in the next couple of weeks. Cereals. What do we want to exonerate here? Let's putting some tariffs on the Chinese on our food sector. Then banana, cocoa, coffee. We don't have productions there. Flowers. Let's do a $2 million subsidy there. What's unemployment rate like? It kind of is dipping between dipping and increasing between 6%, 6 and 7%. What did I want to give like a $50 million subsidy earlier? Ooh, yeah, I need to. Let's do tourism. Could I actually do 100 million? Yeah, we're gonna give that $100 million subsidy. Urban transportation, exonerates, TV channels, hotel tourism, trade, telecom. Oh, this is what I wanted to do.
Thanks. That... No pro... I'd be... You're good. It's very kind of... No problem.
Should I subsidize a whole industry or specific sectors? Specific sectors, because usually you can get more. It is a little more micromanaging, but
nope.
I like to do that because if you just subsidize the entire thing, there are going to be certain sectors that are not going to be able to be grown, and you're basically wasting money on that sector.
Nope.
So like what I've been doing this entire time, I like to go through and just specifically go through and subsidize sectors. Services. Okay. And we're good. And then as soon as we subsidize that, as soon as we nationalize that, then we're going to go ahead and start focusing on growing the sector.
The alarming situation of freight transport may have a negative impact on the economy. If businesses cannot access their raw materials and dispatch their goods in a timely manner, the whole national economy will be impaired. In short, it's imperative to act before the transport problem brings down our GDP.
Why'd that one get rejected?
It's all.
There bring no notable changes since our country's resources are sufficient. Come on. You'll never give me the time of day. Oh, public debt actually dipped. I'm considering requesting a $1.5 billion IMF loan at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year. That way I can, I think I wanted to build a university. There was something else I wanted to build and I totally forgot what it was. Oh my God, so many people are dying. Oh my God. I think we can introduce a, tobacco tax. Okay, so our SMRs are finished. We have 20,000 people that we can call on to work. And we have a surplus of 7 terawatts.
The bill.
For those who are watching right now, by the way, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you guys want to see more content like this, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss anything whenever I do make it to the channel. Increase the wealth tax and company turnover tax to max the damage will damage the economy. If you are having a lot of growth, increase those tax. Well, not the wealth tax doesn't have an effect on growth, but the industrial pollution tax, the company turnover tax, the VAT tax, value-added tax, the income tax will have an effect on growth. The strongest possible ones are going to be the financial transaction tax and the industrial pollution tax and the value-added tax. God. I really like this gameplay.
The preparations.
I really am enjoying this gameplay, honestly. Kind of like it's not too easy is the main thing.
No, come on. I need our neighbors. I think Tajikistan did actually accept us, so that's good. At least bilateral cooperation can continue between us two. Could we actually try to go for a free trade agreement with the Uzbekistan? Oh, we could actually upgrade Kazakhstan to a global economic treaty. Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and let's go for a global economic treaty, I guess. What are my relations with the United States? -1, but +33 militarily. The United Kingdom could actually do something in terms of free trade with the United Kingdom. What about Russia? I think if I lower trade barriers with Russia, then we could achieve a free trade agreement with Russia. So that's actually what I'm going to do. And if you know my channel, this is something that I don't necessarily like to do. I don't like to interact with Russia. I don't like to interact with China. It's something that I never really do, but for the sake of gameplay, and since Kyrgyzstan is pretty friendly with Russia, and we are a part of the CSTO, the Collective Treaty Security Organization, and we are a part of the Eurasian Economic Union, then we will pursue further and deeper relations with the Russian Federation. Let's lower trade barriers with Russia on food by 35%. That will +42. Let's go ahead and start negotiations on a free trade agreement with the Russian Federation. It was two renowned high schools in respective capitals of both countries that were able to make the first exchanges. We received compliments from the head teacher accompanying them. The students were a little nervous at first, but have been welcomed into our host families and have adapted very quickly, exploring their new way of life and meeting friends abroad represents a very strong personal enrichment, especially at their age, and that is the student exchanges between Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan. Same thing with Armenia, and commercial treaty signed between Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. I think the next like small. Oh, actually, I really don't like that Tajikistan only has one city. We need some more interaction between Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan. Your country is too small. The trade volume between our two countries would be too small. We would perhaps even lose money in the exchange. Yeah, I kind of forgot that they do that whenever it comes to smaller countries. So, I guess big, large countries are out of the question now. it is the new year. Let's go ahead and go to the next January. The economy grew at 7%. We are now at a GDP of $12 billion, just about $12 billion. Unhealthy housing situation, 52.61% of our housing is debilitated, so maybe we can actually start making an effort on housing. What would I have to do? What's my debt? GDP debt ratio at 96%. God, my approval rating is just all over the place, isn't it? All right, January 6th. Have you ever reached 2050? Closest I've ever been, that was like 2040, I think. I think I played as Australia until like 2040 one time. Never really encountered that many bugs. Personnel. $47 billion. What? Oh, it's not $47 billion. It was $47 billion. Help me. Help me. Help me. Uh-oh.
The situation is getting worse day by day, and it now seems the budget deficit.
You are...
Oops. I did it. Uh-oh. Jesus Christ, what was that? let's go to the end of the year again, and let's not do that again. I don't really think I did much. %. That's crazy. That was fun. That was fun. Why is that so much? That's the weird thing. Like, how was that so much money that it destroyed my economy?
The prepper.
Hydraulic, 1.4 billion. Debt. I have a $12 billion debt right now. Okay. Oh, that's probably what got canceled out. Okay, yeah. So we just have to buy our weapons again. Nothing too bad. 15. Missiles, mortar rounds. Budgets. We're gonna go for like 50,000 mortar rounds. That way we have a huge stockpile, because we don't have the money to invest into missiles. So I think artillery at least would be something that we can invest in. I like how Singapore has their own cannons. I don't like that they call them cannons. Just call them artillery. I want a Kyrgyzstani or a Kyrgyz nuclear submarine. That's what I want. What about the highways? Okay, those are still being built. It's like a population. I want to look at my stats real quick. So we've gotten about 100,000 people since we came into power. Our population growth is going down, so we have to kind of start investing into our population growth. Density going up, but it's about the same. Birth rate is on its way down. Contraception rates, maybe we can pass a law to try to go against contraception. Child mortality rate is very high right now for whatever reason. We don't want it that high. GDP per capita is on its way up. We're at about $2,000. Population living below the poverty line is going down. You go to work. Minimum solidarity allowance. Damn, they really don't want to do that. Number of weeks compensated per year of employment. Now you listen to me. Okay, we're going to the end of the year. So, who's in the chat right now? Who's out there? We got like 5 or 7 people watching. No one's really said anything. We have 8,000 conscripts. I think that's actually gone up since the beginning of the game. Public finances, and then watch, it's gonna drop because then the economy is gonna reset again. David is still there. What's up? Damn, look at Yemen just increasing their power right now. Urbanization, animal welfare, human rights. Budgets. Yeah, $53 billion defense budget for Kyrgyzstan. Let's go to the completion of this oil well, just in a couple of days, and then we are going to call it quits for today. We're gonna order, I don't know, because the United States doesn't necessarily, like, people don't really necessarily like it whenever I order these nuclear plants. I really, really, really need one that, I'm gonna save it real quick. I'm gonna save it real quick, and we're gonna see what happens to my economy whenever I invest the bare minimum into a nuclear power plant. Not only one, but it's gonna be one that I'm gonna buy from the United States, a third generation nuclear power plant. But it's like, it's at the bare minimum price. So we're gonna see how the economy reacts to that. Purchase third generation nuclear power plant. And if we can get this, then, I mean, hell, we're good. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I figured. But can we try to increase some of our taxes in order to pay for such a project? 322. What's our growth rate at? 4.7. Some tips to increase tourism. I usually subsidize this sector. We're going to increase our carbon tax to 400 million dollars, or $400. Okay, that actually gave us the amount that we needed. See how people react to that. Yeah, they don't. It's really hard to get approval in this, isn't it? Let's go over to media, freedom of expression.
Hello? I'm in a hotel in city center now. It really doesn't look good. The street is full of soldiers. According to my information, the generals will soon make a televised speech. They claim that they want to put order back into the country. In the short term, I think they just want to put order back into the streets through big shots from machine guns. I see tanks that are heading towards your palace there. Okay, I'm getting out of here. Maybe we'll see each other one of these days.
Alright, a military coup is now underway in Kyrgyzstan, so that sucks. That doesn't mean that's why I saved it beforehand. I wanted to test to see what the reaction would be, and I guess we have to wait a little bit longer until our budget grows just a tiny bit.
You were elected thanks to your speeches, but only action will keep you in power.
Yeah. You're literally conducting a coup d'etat against me right now. So, yeah. How much oil did this get me? 35,000. No, that sucks. Yep. I guess let's see what the newspaper says. Yep, that's it. Give me 1 second. Right, and that is it. So, in Kyrgyzstan, power is now in the hands of the prime ministers. And Prime Ministers Sergei Semenjuskin and arrested Alexei Pobedin. The pushes immediately drove the head of government to a national square, absolutely deserted to execute him. Jesus Christ. The whole country is now under the wing of the military, even when Sergei promised to transfer power after the situation is normal again, which is pretty funny because usually there is a change. There usually is like a change in government. It would be kind of cool to see like a coup d'etat in the United States, and then they basically like refuse to give up power. I'm gonna check on this save real quick to see where we're at, and then we're gonna wrap it up. But yeah, that sucks that happened. Obviously, this isn't the end. I really want to continue this Kyrgyzstan series. So I guess like in between the 2024 edition, I guess I'm just gonna return back to live streaming. Try to get back on a schedule, just a little schedule that we can get on. See where we can go, but that should be able to fill in the content gap, I guess. But yeah, guys, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you guys want to see more content like this, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss anything whenever I do make it on the channel. If you guys want to see the 2024 edition, go ahead and let me know in the comments what you guys want to see in this next upcoming edition. I'll see you guys in the next video. Guys, thank you so much for watching this with me today. This is not the end of Kyrgyzstan. We will be continuing it. That was more of a test run. That's why I saved it beforehand. So this is not the end of Kyrgyzstan. We will be continuing it, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Kyrgyzstan. Thank you guys so much for watching this with me. Take care.